Hello everyone and welcome back to TDWins6. I'm Trevor Winship and I am joined by my brother Miles.
Hello.
And today you saw the title, we are doing the top 10 favorite Beanie Boos. Now how we're going to do this is, so I will be revealing number 10, he'll reveal number 10, then we'll go to 9, 8, 7, and we're just going to go back and forth revealing which one is ranked where on our list. We also have some honorable mentions. Alright, let's get started. Who wants to reveal first? Do you want to reveal first?
Sure.
You're the special guest. Go ahead and reveal number 10 first.
Oh gosh. I don't know who's number 10 on my list here. Hold on.
We'll pause to give him a moment. Alright, go ahead, number 10.
Alright, number 10 on my list is Faye the Unicorn Fox. So, I recently got Faye, actually, like, right before my family went on a vacation. I got her, and I was lucky that she came in, and I was like, okay, she's gonna come with me on vacation, just because she's that new. And I was lucky I didn't even have to spend, like, $100 to get her when I found her on eBay. So I love her. I have every fox that you can get in Beanie Boo, so that's where she ranks.
Alright, my number 10 is Sydney the Leopard. Now, Sydney is like a bright blue leopard with pink spots and pink ears. She's got pink eyes, a pink nose, and a pink tip tail. She is exclusive to Claire's, and I think what I like about her is, I think just the brightness of how she looks. So, and that's why I have Sydney on my number 10. Alright, number 9.
Alright, number 9 for me is River the Wolf. So, when we both went to Great Wolf Lodge the first time, I did find River there, but I did not get her, because I only got 2 at the time, and so currently we only have 1 that we're missing right now, and currently River is one of my top favorites that I own.
Alright, at number 9 on my list, we have, and this one was on my top 10s list last time, Muddles the Springer Spaniel. So he's a classic brown and white dog with brown spots on him and blue eyes, and I like Beanie Boos that are very simple. I'm also a dog person, so Muddles is on my top 10. Alright, number 8.
Alright, before I get further, you're gonna see a huge trend with a lot of my favorites. But my next favorite is Vixen. Vixen is actually fairly new to the Beanie Boo community. And she jumped up there in favoritism for me, like, super quickly. And I like how she looks really similar to Faye, but like there's a few differences between them. Their eye color is different. Faye has more gold eyes. Vixen has more pink eyes. Vixen doesn't have a horn like Faye does.
It's almost like having a hornless Faye.
Exactly. And I'm more of a horn-free Beanie Boo lover, but Faye is like one of the only exceptions for that.
Alright, number 8 on my list, we have someone who was on my top 10 last time as well, Jade the Wolf. Now, I know she was at like 2 or 3 on the list last time, and she's now at 8. That's because I've gotten some more that have jumped up the list, and some that went from being below Jade to now being above Jade. But yeah, of all the wolves, Jade is my favorite. Because I just like the color blue. I like the aqua color. She has like a very similar color to Sydney as well, which I just love this color so much. So yeah, Jade's on my list. Alright, number 7.
Alright, my number 7 favorite is Piper the Fox. Now, if you haven't noticed so far, I have mostly foxes on my list. Because foxes are one of my favorite animals. They're one of my favorite animals to collect in Beanie Boo. As I've said, I have all the foxes in Beanie Boo. Piper is just one of my top favorites that I own. I've been using her a whole bunch here recently for a series that I've been wanting to work on. Same with a couple of the others who've been shown so far as well already. And between her and Atlas, I just like how Piper looks better. Piper's also just, her ear fabric is much better to touch as well.
Alright, number 7 on my list, and this one actually was a shock for me that this one ended up on my list. But we have Violet the Leopard. Now she is a snow leopard with purple accents, and when I found out she was on my list, I didn't even realize I was going to put her on my list and all that until in the last few weeks and all that, started really like displaying her like next to my bed back at home. I displayed her up on my tray that's up there for my computer, and I just like how she looks, and she goes really, for me, I feel she goes really well with one of my others on my top 10.
I think I know
So,
who you're talking
I have Violet the Leopard. She's also a Claire's exclusive. And you'll see a trend with me when it comes to the leopards. Alright, number 6.
Number 6 favorite is, just like with River, Warrior the Wolf. So, I really love all of my Great Wolf Lodge Beanie Boos that I own. I'm also just a huge fan of like a bunch of like the exclusive Beanie Boos, especially like the ones that are like, you're not gonna find them in stores all that much, or like you're not gonna find them for decent prices on eBay. So it's like, I really love getting them, and Warrior was one of my first ones that I got.
Alright, number 6 on my list is one of my newer ones. We have Bananas the Monkey. Now, he was a UK exclusive back in like 2009, 2010. I have it written in an essay somewhere. And he's basically an albino monkey, more to say. And he's got blue accents all over and all that. But yeah, if you obviously would have guessed, monkeys are my favorite animal, if you can't tell by the logo on the channel. But yeah, so Bananas is number 6 on my list. Alright, number 5, getting down to the top 5.
Alright, number 5 for me. So just like with some of the other ones, to finish off the collection of the ones that I personally own, we have Iris the Wolf from Great Wolf Lodge as well. So Iris is absolutely my top favorite Beanie Boo Wolf, mostly because of her color. She is purple. Purple is one of my top favorite colors of all time.
But green's his favorite.
Yes, so I personally found Iris to be my favorite of the wolves. At first I thought Warrior was going to be my favorite, but then Iris just stuck out to me more, so she's just been one of my top favorites. And she's never dropped from the top 5 since I got her.
No, she hasn't. I can attest to that. Alright, number 5 on my list is someone who was also, I think, on my top 10 list last time. Bloom the Bunny. She was an Easter exclusive back in 2014. She's got mostly purple and pink, as well as some green on her. And yeah, I just think she's a very cute Beanie Boo. I love her. She's my favorite bunny that's ever been created. So yeah, Bloom the Bunny.
Alright, so going on to the top 4. So if you've seen with mine so far, it's been a huge trend of like foxes and wolves. Breaking that trend with my number 1 first Beanie Boo I ever got, Kiwi. Now, it is very surprising whenever you hear someone who collects Beanie Boos say that Kiwi was their first. He was my first because frogs are my absolute number 1 favorite animal of all time. And
plus, it was back in like 2010.
Yeah, so
April of 2010.
He was still in stores at this moment, where we're from, and I was lucky that I ended up getting him as my first Beanie Boo, and I got him as a gift for Easter. So
from the Easter Bunny.
So he has always been up in my top favorites. He's the only Beanie Boo that I own who has never missed a single vacation that we've ever gone on.
Alright, Next up on my list was also on my last top 10 videos list. This time we have Annabelle the cat. Annabelle is a cream cat with pink markings all over her. I think she's like a kind of like a calico or a tabby cat. I think she's more of a tabby cat. But yeah, I'm not really much of a cat person, but with Annabelle, oh, she's made me a cat person. I can't own any cats, but this is my cat. So, we have Annabelle. And she was a Barnes & Noble exclusive back in 2014. And she was still available back in, like, 2017, I know, because that's where I got her. So, Annabelle.
Alright.
Top 3.
Alright, my number 3 favorite, oh hello, fur's getting messed up on her, is Frost. Now, Frost has been one that the two of us have been wanted for a long time, ever since we first found out about her. And just this past summer, I was able to get her. I had like a whole bunch of gift cards stacked up, and I found a Frost for like $70 on eBay, and I was like, you know what? We're gonna take these.
It's a steal. We're taking it. $70 for Frost? Heck yeah.
And I was like, I'm always like, if I ever find a deal that I'm gonna take, I'm taking it regardless. So we have Frost, and just like Faye, I was like, I can't pass up a deal on a Beanie Boo that I really want, who is going to be really hard to find. And when I found her, I was like, I gotta get her. So.
And we actually fought for years on who was actually going to own Frost, because she was on both of our top 10 most wanted lists.
And who won?
Miles won.
I won.
He gets Frost. But hey, I still get to use Frost whenever I want to.
True.
Alright, number 3 on my list. This is a new one to the list. Trixie the cheetah. Now, she is a Justice exclusive from 2015, I think? 2014 or 2015. But I think it was 2015.
You saw who that was right there, I think.
But yeah, so she's got a little purple jelly bean nose, purple accents on like her paws, her stomach, her ears, her eyes, her whiskers, all of it. And let's be honest, the reason Trixie ended up on my most wanted list before I got her was because of Hassa. So I was just like, Hassa likes Trixie, so I like Trixie. And it's true. I love Trixie. I love her so much. And I got her for a steal last year of like $30, I think. Because she normally goes for like $75. Steal. Alright, top 2. Ooh, don't fall over, Trixie.
Alright, speaking of Beanie Boos that we get for like a steal, that's usually like the trend for us. Like if we find one that we really like, that we're trying to go for, and we find them for a good price, they're usually a steal. And this is absolutely the case for this next one right here. Used to be one of my top most expensive ones that I own. That being Joey the Fox. Now, you're seeing I have a whole collection of foxes in my top 10 favorites, and that's because they're such a perfect mold. They're one of the best molds of Beanie Boos in my opinion. Would you say that's a true fact?
Yeah, the foxes, they're very popular. A lot of people actually like the foxes, so.
And, like, right after Joey had been released, like, a year later, you get Frost being released, and everyone's going on a Frost hype craze, and everyone's forgetting that Joey was around. Not really, but kind of really. Joey, though, has always been one of the ones that I really like. And because I've owned Joey longer than I've owned Frost, Joey's just been up there much longer for me to, like, want to say that she's one of my top favorites. And not to mention, I really love her color, even though I'm not much of a fan of the color pink. I do like how it works on her.
Alright, number 2 on my list, I think is one of the coolest Beanie Boos I own in my collection. And it's Bubblegum the Lemur. I love Bubblegum so much. And she's the one who I actually think looks really good next to Violet. So, because I will literally sometimes display them on my desk. But yeah, I love Bubblegum. She's so cute, so sweet. I love her. And $45 just for Bubblegum. I mean, who doesn't want to get a bubblegum for a steal? Because she goes for like what, 150, I think. 45 is a steal.
Whenever you see one that goes for like hundreds of dollars, and you see one for like less than 100, like for us, we're like, just go for it.
Yeah. Plus, I like to do this with her tail. I like to put her tail inside her paws like that.
That is cute. That is super cute.
Yeah. All right. Now, before we reveal number 1 for each of us, we're going to go with our honorable mentions.
All right.
All right. Go ahead and reveal your honorable mentions.
All 3?
Yeah. Just say who they are.
All right.
No need to explain anything.
All right. The first one on my honorable mentions, one of the most popular ones to the entire fan base of the BOOS, Spirit the German Shepherd. I don't really have an explanation, I'll be honest.
All right. The first on my honorable mention is... Come on, get over my hand. Gumball the Unicorn. Now, she was on my top 10 last time, but obviously I've gotten some new ones since, so she fell down the list a little bit, but she's still up there.
Alright, my next one is Tiggy the Tiger. Now, most people probably were not big fans of him when he first came out because of how similar he looks to Stripes. I own Stripes as well. I just found Tiggy to be better, like more cool looking. I liked his color being a little darker and more brown than the bright orange.
He also looks more realistic.
He does.
Next on my honorable mentions is Leanne the Lemur.
I was wondering where she was on your list.
Yeah, she's on honorable mentions now. She was, I think, number 2 or 3 on the last one. But I've kind of grown a little bit more of a love for some of the others that are on my top 10. And she kind of fell down the list. But I will always have a place for Leanne in my heart.
Alright, my final honorable mention. A new Beanie Boo that has been released not too long ago, Snowdrop. And I've actually been obsessed with Snowdrop ever since she came out. I think most people find Snowdrop to be a boy. I find Snowdrop to be a girl, so
It doesn't matter.
yeah. I just love how clean her fur looks. Like, it's like the white being super clean. That's what I love. Like a white Beanie Boo that is super clean. You can't get any better than that.
Alright, and the last on my honorable mentions. Now, I wasn't originally going to put her on my honorable mentions, but she made more sense to put on my honorable mentions than the others. Dreamer the Leopard. Now, she was actually in my top 10 dream Beanie Boos to get. She was number 1 or 2, I think. And I'm surprised that I put her on my honorable mentions. So, but hey, I love my Dreamer so much. And yeah, and actually, fun story. So, I first found out about Sydney, and then I saw Dreamer. I was like, oh, that's Sydney. No, that's not. Sydney's a brighter color. And then I was like, I like Dreamer more. And part of me is debating whether I like one or the other more. So they're almost tied. I think Sydney takes the edge right now.
Alright, and now for our number 1 favorites. So,
I think we should do this at the same time.
Okay.
Alright. Number 1 for each of us is going to be revealed in 3, 2, 1.
Speckles the Leopard.
Coconut the Monkey. I think you guys expected this one from me. Go ahead.
Given the fact that I said frogs are my number 1 favorite animal, I don't think saying a leopard as my number 1 favorite would have been something that you could easily guess. You would probably have suspected someone like the other Speckles, Speckles the Frog, or even Smitten the Frog, probably, but nope, it's Speckles the Leopard. Speckles, ever since I first got him, he wasn't someone who I saw as, a Beanie Boo that I really, fully wanted, but then after...
I convinced him to get Speckles.
After collecting him, and then after using him, he's just grown, and now he's just, one that I absolutely love, and just, usually whenever I try to do any sort of, plans to use for Beanie Boos in it, usually he's always up there for ones that I want to select.
Alright. I think you all already knew. I was going to put Coconut on my list because, duh, he was number 1 last time. I think I said that I would never put anyone else at number 1 other than Coconut because the only reason that someone or a Beanie Boo would overtake Coconut at number 1 is if they released another monkey but with blue accents named Trevor. That's the only reason, because then it's like, it's geared for me. But yeah, so Coconut's number 1 on my list because I can't even explain it. It's just, there's just something about Coconut that just puts him at number 1, and not just because he's a monkey, but probably because he's a monkey. Alright, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed coming up with the list for ourselves. And make sure you hit that like button. Oh my gosh, words. That like button, that subscribe button, and make sure you hit the bell button so you are notified with all videos. I've got more video ideas coming up very soon. Fingers crossed, hopefully. Be prepared to see a day in the life video once the cast of Dancing with the Stars Season 35 has been revealed.
Shoot.
I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.